Welcome to House of Papillons. I'm Terry. Thanks for stopping in. What we're doing today is it's actually the very first video that I ever shot for my channel, but I never played it for you. I never showed you the project. So I found it the other day, oddly enough, and I thought, it's a really, really good project, and to tell you the truth, I don't know why I didn't play it. I think I just moved on and got project after project. But anyway, I poured this rather large bowl. It certainly isn't the first project I ever did. It's the first project I ever recorded for my channel. So you'll see, it's not the best angles and things. But this bowl, when I saw it, I was like, there's so many opportunities to make your own pattern, and I had this idea in my head, and I thought, well, let me do it. So we're going to delve into many, many, many different chameleon powders. So I hope you like what you see. Take a look. This is voiceover Terry showing you the bowl and showing you how, by using the lines that are already in the bowl to be stabilizing things for the mold, you can, you know, figure out lots of really cool ways to paint it. So we're using Colorshift mica powder for this project. That's by Let's Resin. And previously I took 12 of the colors, because there are 12 sections in the bowl, and I put them in a tray, in a little box, so that I knew what order I wanted to do them in. And you'll see that it works out sometimes and not others, because they're not the same color in the bottle as they are once they're painted on. So this works out beautifully, but anyway, it could have been better. So I turned the mold inside out. That's what you just saw me do. And I just took some blue painter's tape to lay out this very first section that we're going to do, almost like little pieces of pie. So the painter's tape works really well. It does stick. There are times, like if you move it slightly, it might peel up a little bit, but it really isn't that hard to do. And I wanted to sit oddly at my desk and do this. So I just laid out a bunch of paper towels. I wasn't prepared for all of this close-up work, but I did have lights then, so yay for me. And we're just starting putting our very first color on there. So this is obviously a bluish, tealish color, and this is the Colorshift. So it'll look teal in one angle and then another color at another angle, which makes the whole layout of this project really, really pretty. It turned out even more beautiful than I was even expecting it. And some of it had to do with this Colorshift mica powder, because it's real shiny, and the mold itself is really shiny. So, painting it on really was a good idea, I guess. I'm speeding this up because, how much painting on can you possibly watch in your lifetime? And I know you all have seen this kind of thing. Now, here, I was kind of surprised I did this, what I'm doing right now, because I don't know why I would have skipped a section, but the first time I skipped a section, and I don't know why, to tell you the absolute truth. You don't have to do that. So I don't know. It's been a while since I did. It's been well over a year. It's been at least maybe a year and a half since I made this, or year and 8 months or so, because I didn't even have a channel. But the only thing I can think is that maybe the next color that I had in mind, once I got that first color on there, maybe I wanted to go with a different color. But again, clueless. Don't know. But yeah, we are just painting this on. I'm using the brush that Let's Resin sends with that kit. And the brush that they send is a pretty good brush. Looking back, could I have maybe used a bigger brush? I don't know. I did do as best a job as I could at burnishing, because as you can see, this having this inside out the way it is, it's not the most stable thing that you've ever seen. So in different ways, when you're kind of pushing on it and you're trying to really burnish in that mica powder, there's times that it'll make it go sort of topsy-turvy and not not be as easy to burnish. But could I have used maybe a wider brush that wouldn't have taken as long? I am editing and speeding up a lot of this. This took, I mean, I didn't time it, but I took breaks in between and I would go do other things and things like that, because I just have, limited attention span. But it is, sort of therapeutic and fun to do these things. If I'm in the mood for it, and I'm really looking forward to the end product, I do have, the capacity to kind of fool with something for a really long time. I'm making it sound like it took forever, but it really didn't. So, but and again, getting to use 12 of the colors. I forget how many come in here. Is it 10 or is it 16? It may be well, I used 12, so it may be 14 or 16 colors that come in that kit. They do still have this kit available. I did go on Amazon and look to make sure that they're still selling this Colorshift mica. And they are. I never have figured out what the difference between chameleon and Colorshift is, but I guess there's a difference. But it sure was, I'm a total color freak, and I just changing colors and seeing different colors and things like that. That really, now there's my switching sponge that I just got, I think, from Dollar Tree. And it's something that makeup artists use to clean their brush between products. So here I'm starting off with the third color, and the beauty, and I've really sped all of this up because you guys do not want to sit here forever and watch the painting of this thing, but I think it's important to show that I did paint the whole thing. So the thing about the way that I did it is that, see, at this point here, this point and going forward, I only have to put down one piece of tape because I already have mica on the right hand side of the section. If you've never painted mica powder onto a surface or dusted mica powder onto a mold, the finished product is going to show the first thing that's on the mold. Like, I couldn't go to those lines and try to blend them or something, the lines between the colors. It doesn't work that way. I already have mica burnished down on that one side, so I don't need to put tape on that right hand side. It's all, I can go right over that line and it'll make a perfectly straight, really nice line because I already have mica powder down on that right hand side. So that's one good thing about this. Like I said, I don't know why I skipped that one section. It didn't make any sense. I think I must have decided that I wanted like a yellow in between those colors or something. So but I pre-laid out the colors because I didn't want 3 blues next to each other, or 2 greens or 2 golds. Now, in the end, there is something, and it may be maybe a chartreuse and a gold that ended up next to each other that I didn't realize were going to be those colors once they had black resin behind them. But nobody is looking going, what what did she do? Why are those two colors, too similar? Nobody's doing that but me if I really study it. And isn't that what we do? We study our own work and find the things we like and the things we don't like. So, again, just because I got to use this just about the whole box of colors, this is right up my alley. Playing with colors is just one of the joys of life. And like I said, these colors, as you know, if you've ever worked with a Colorshift or a mica powder or whatever, they don't necessarily look the way they do in the bottle. They don't look the same once they have resin behind them. So, wish the whole thing would have gone this fast in real life. But it again, it's fun. Don't let me be whiny. Okay, so we're coming to the end of this part of it. And next, I'm going to clean that center. The whole time, I kind of didn't know what to do with the center. And the whole time I was dusting this, painting it, whatever you want to call it. And I thought, now, there is a circular support piece that's under there. And so then I thought, well, why don't we have nothing? Why don't we just let the black resin just be black resin back there? So that's what I decided to do. So I went and took some alcohol wipes and wiped that off. Likewise, I then went to the edge because we're going to get ready to do some work on the edge. And I went all the way around it and cleaned off all the mica that, I think I knew that I was going to go to a certain point, and then I figured that the tops, right where this sponge is, those tops, I thought, well, maybe I just want those to be black. The lip of the bowl would be black. And then I thought, no, I do have mica, over them. So let me just clean it nicely, clean all the way around, and, we'll go on from there. So next, I'm doing what will be the outside of the bowl, because remember we have this folded, this mold is inverted. It's folded inside out. So I counted all these little ridges or little divots, and I think something tells me there were 102 of them. And then I just divided that by 12, and I went, okay, I can do 2 ridges per color. And that's what I did. And I wasn't too precious with, which color I used. I did go in the same order that was in the box, but initially I thought I was going to be picky about, well, I already have a yellow one and, those bigger stripes. And I thought I already have a yellow, and then I went, no, just go in order. Don't worry about, how if it's going to meet a bigger stripe that's the same color. And in the long run, it truly doesn't matter, because you're so focused. I mean, you can't really focus on the smaller stripes and the bigger stripes at the same time, because the smaller stripes are on the outside of the bowl. So, yeah. So I just went ahead and, did the colors the way I did them. Now, after I think it's maybe the first or second stripe here, I speed this up too. And I didn't even show you the entire thing because, it's 2 stripes. It's 2 stripes. It's what it is. So I just wanted to sort of cut down the length of this. I always never know. Let me know in the comments what you think about longer videos, shorter videos, what your thoughts are, because I just, sometimes I want to cut it down, but then sometimes I think to myself, but isn't that the point of doing these videos, is to show the process, right? So I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to get to the point where I go, okay, they've seen it. They've seen how to do this part. Now let's move on. And, but then again, the point is to do a tutorial. So I'm kind of six on one hand, half a dozen on the other. I don't know. So I am going right to the lip of the bowl, and the part that I'm doing there will be the bottom of the bowl. So the top next to the bigger stripes, that will be the lip of the bowl once it's turned right side out and poured. And then to the bottom where my left hand is where the the bottom of the bowl, if you turn it over, the part it sits on. This bowl is quite large, but I absolutely love it. And I'll tell you, everybody that sees it is just like, did you make that? And I'm like, yeah. And the thing is, it doesn't take that much skill. The bowl lays it out for you. The bowl is telling you which way to go. And I don't know what that I said earlier, but I am wearing gloves because when you're putting on mica powder and you're gonna paint it on, I did end up touching it, and that way it won't take powder off. But if my skin touched it, the oils from my skin could take powder off and make some streaks on the bowl, and I didn't want to do that. So here we're finally mixing the resin. I am using Alumilite in black, their opaque paste. It is my absolute favorite of all time. I love their black. I love their white. They are the very first pastes that I ordered several years ago when I started doing resin, and I had never used pastes. I just shopped and went, okay, this says opaque. Let me, I need some black, I need some white. I bought it. I have never looked back. I absolutely love this stuff. I've used it in several of my projects on my channel. Now, I severely underestimated how much resin this bowl was going to take. I think I started out with some crazy amount, like 8 ounces or something, because it really is quite thin. Those walls are thin. I mean, even though size-wise the bowl is large, the walls, see how the resin isn't even flowing down there very fast. You can see on the sides. So I thought, let's go with 8. Well, 8 didn't do it. So I think I mixed like, I don't know, 10 more or something and poured that in there, which you're seeing me do now. And this was this was quite, so let's see, 8 and 8 would have been 16. And I think when I added it up at the end, because I had maybe 4 pours before I finally filled this thing. And so that was exciting to do. I know y'all have done it too, but And like I said, I just, the more time went on and the more I'm mixing again and pouring more in there again, I'm going, but how is this possible? I thought maybe it had a hollow part underneath. Here we are again. And this is probably 8 more. So I think when I added it up, it was either 21 or 24 ounces. It was a lot. It was a lot of resin for this project. And I kept all this in here just so you guys could see it filling up because, again, this is a tutorial and you do, want to actually see the work. And I could have cut out that, I found a fuzzy on my glove. But man alive, it just took forever. And then you'll see me when I demold, I also cut that down too because it was like wrestling alligators to get this thing out of the bowl. I think because this bowl is so very shiny and it's so nice and glossy, and then having that mica powder on there. It really was sealed. This thing was sealed within an inch of its life. It was very, very sealed. And of course, here's our last bit. I'm pretty sure this is, it may have been 24 when it was all said and done. But it's worth it. If you get this bowl, or, you know, I mean, you don't have to do this design, but I'm just saying this bowl, if, you know, like for a wedding gift, or, you know, something like that, that would be something very special, I think. All right, I'm coming up on the end of the whole diatribe of, of resin mixing. I'm going to finally. Now we're demolding. I did skip ahead to the beginning because this took a while. It was, like I said, wrestling alligators. And here we are. Isn't this just stunning? It's gorgeous. Like I said, it is even prettier than I thought it was going to be in you know, in my head. This was, I think, very, very, very special. And I'm showing the center there where I felt I could have done a little bit better in cleaning that. But beyond that, and see the two golds that are sort of next to each other over on the, oh, well, you'll see it in the next shot. So this is the project that I've had for well over a year and a half. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you like this little trip down memory lane with me. I appreciate you viewing, and if you like what you see, please like and subscribe. That way we can meet up like this again. And I hope to see you the next time. Take care.